Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you can hear me over all the noise outside because I don't know, it's loud here, and I also forgot to bring my microphone, so we're just talking. Um, I need to do my introduction and some edits and things today, so I'm going to get on with that and I can talk to you about those later on. However, I received an email from my supervisor this morning and he was asking me if I'd be willing to help out at the open day in June for other prospective students in archaeology, because he was like, you know a lot about York, you've lived here for 4 years, you've done your undergraduate degree here and you're on your master's, which not a lot of people, do stay that long. You're also doing a research master's, which is a bit different, so you can talk about that with other students, because I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but this year round I'm the only master's in research student in archaeology, so obviously that's pretty cool. So I can provide some insight that maybe not a lot of other people could at my age or younger. And obviously I've also worked in York for 4 years, so that's another bonus. And I was like, I would love to help out because, when I'm talking to him about what I want to do in the future, I want to be a teacher. And part of that is like the whole getting people excited about archaeology and wanting them to pick it. And like I've said, I'd be happy to teach just history at A levels and colleges and things like that. Even though I love archaeology and would much prefer to be a lecturer if I could pick anything. Just because I think those people's jobs are really important for getting people to pick to go somewhere or pick to choose and study something. And I think part of that also does come down to these open days, like getting people enthusiastic and excited. And I think back to when I went to open days and how the person who was talking to me about stuff and walking me around the campus, and that person was also very important and like formative in some ways, because they specifically convinced me if this was a good place or not. And so I want to do that for other people. However, as usual, I'm working all of that weekend. In fact, I'm doing Saturday, Sunday and Monday at work. And the open days are Saturday and Sunday. And so I've messaged my work, and again, I think I've mentioned this a few times, it's that week where a bunch of other management are off, and it's why I couldn't go on holiday that week and I had to delay it to the week after. So I'm not sure that it's going to be remotely possible to have a shift swap around whatsoever. I'm hoping something can be done where one of the girls who's not a team leader does my 9 a.m. shift, because she's pretty excellent at her job, and someone else covers her 11 a.m. shift at one of the properties, just because it's a bit of a smaller space and it's not as complicated to run on the Saturday. But I don't know yet. I have messaged my work and I've put it down, like I really need something on my CV that's archaeology related, to look like I care, because I can only push that I've worked at a historic charity for 4 years so far when it comes down to the fact that I've worked in a cafe and not done anything conservation or teaching related in that role. I don't know, like I'm feeling very stressed about it a little bit, because I keep thinking about when I'm going to be applying for jobs probably next year once my degree's done in January, and like, what am I going to like say to people? Because so far I've got nothing really on my CV that's archaeology related, and I like to think that I can talk about my YouTube channel and be like, I talk through my degree and my dissertation, and but they'll look at it and be like, we get 40 views, like, exactly opening many people's minds with that, which I agree, but like, I'm trying to. So maybe I need to change up my content format or something, I don't know. I'm just like feeling like this would be a really good opportunity, and I feel like it's very important to me personally. And I just don't have very much confidence that work's going to allow it. And the thing is, like, having worked there for 4 years, I have also like been doing like 5 days a week for most of my undergraduate and been contracted hours, so I can't just disappear and spend a week volunteering doing something, because I need the money and I need the hours because I've contracted to do them, And so in some ways, like, having this job has really limited me getting anything on my CV. And obviously if I'd known about the open days and them needing volunteers sooner, then I would have probably done that myself, but I had no idea. So maybe I can ask about future open days, because I'm sure there'll be another one in like September, October time, which I can help out with, obviously. But I just find it so frustrating sometimes about having a job and being a student, because it does feel like I'm missing out on opportunities that other people are not, because they don't need the financial aid from a job which takes up hours of their time. And now I'm only doing 2 days a week. I feel like it should be more flexible. It just happens to be this week where there's like no flexibility whatsoever. So I'll get back to you as to if I get a green light on having that day off or something. But I don't know. Hopefully I do. If not, I guess we'll have to keep an eye out for future open days. Right, I've been working on this introduction all day, and every time I'm writing stuff, I just keep falling into this problem of forgetting to relate it to creative culture. I'm like, these are all the problems in Neanderthal studies. And I'm just reading it, I'm like, they're gonna ask me, like, so why is it that you're looking for these problems specifically in creative culture and not just in Neanderthal studies as a whole? And I'm like, because I feel like the other things are kind of accepted as normal now when these things still influence creative culture specifically, but I don't know how to say that nicely. I don't know. I've kind of had enough now. It's 10:30. But I'm not finished with it, and I know I'm going to read it. I've reread it once already and changed most of it because I was just like, that's shit. And somehow, hold on, for in 2,214 words. Shut up. Just tell us what it's about already. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Okay, it's almost midnight. I've called it a day. Like, I stopped on the introduction and started trying to make the Gantt chart. What the fuck even is that? Like, I'm trying, but it just looks so ugly. And I feel like it's not. Things just not making any sense. Probably because I'm really tired. And I don't feel really well today, actually. I feel a little bit sickly. I don't know. I got a headache. I'm tired. I had enough. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need Jack to have a look at it and help me with it because he's the one who's like knows a bit more about research than I do. Like, in a world, like, I can do stuff like this, like, it's really not that big of a deal, but I think the deadline of it is stressing me out a bit, and I'm just so worried that they're gonna look at it and be like, she's an idiot, or she shouldn't know what she's doing. Like, realistically, they're not, and I know they're not, and, you know, they also know I'm a month behind everybody else they'll be interviewing and talking to. I'm also, like, my first time ever doing research, so there's a learning curve to that, obviously, and the whole point of them being there to give me the advice is to help me with that learning curve. But I don't know, I just feel a bit sick about it. I feel a bit stressed, and I just kind of like, I just really want this all to be over now. I'm just gonna be on holiday and not have to think about it for a little bit. Like, I actually feel like I can vomit. I don't know what's wrong with me. And like, I feel like I got pressure in my chest. Like, I'm not having a panic attack, but I feel quite panicky and stressed, if that makes sense. It's not quite that traumatic, but yeah, I don't feel well about it at all. So, on that note, I'm going to go to bed because I need to get up early-ish to go to the hairdressers tomorrow. And I'm also not looking forward to that, if I'm honest. I don't enjoy the social interaction of a hairdresser's. I don't enjoy the, like, sensitive of it either, because I hate people touching my hair, brushing it, dyeing it, washing it. All of that is sensory nightmare a little bit for me. And I find, like, also having to have the conversations with people, I feel like I almost go in customer service and it drains the life out of me. And then also knowing that after that I've got to get back to York and still finish some of this stuff because I've got work on Wednesday, it's due on Wednesday. Yeah, it just all makes me feel sick. But, you know, nothing about sleep can't make you forget, so I'm gonna do that. Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. I'm dressed, I'm ready to go to the hairdressers, hence I brushed my hair out. Yeeks. I'm kind of excited to see what it's gonna look like, but also, as I was saying last night, I only feel anxiety and stress today. Right now. I also dyed my eyebrows last night and now I feel like I look crazy. Who is that? I don't know. I'm gonna go to the hairdressers, I guess, and I'll talk to you later when I've got to do work again, I suppose. Not feeling excited at all. Right now, I just wish I could go back to sleep, to be honest, so I don't have to feel any level of stress. But that's life. Right, I'm back. I asked her to put some blonde and put grey blonde through it, which she's done a good job. The layers, incredible. I don't know why I always end up with a straight fringe after I've been at the hair salon. It doesn't help that it's windy either, so it's blown me about on that, but I'm happy with it. once I can see what it looks like when I've done it, I think I'll be happier, but yeah, it's blonde. Right, so I'm gonna show you what my Gantt chart looks like right now. I'm gonna show it to Jack when I get home, and I just know he's gonna be like, what the fuck is that? But let me show you, and hopefully if I have things to change it by, I can show you them too later, and maybe this will help somebody else. But I'm gonna hold my hands up right now and say it's not very good, but I think it gets the point across. So down this side I have all of the tasks. When I started them, obviously either they're in a work in progress or not started yet. And then across the top is all the weeks of studying. Like, I've just gone by week because realistically I aim to get stuff done a week. It's not like I can't do that for every day, that would be ridiculous. At the top there is like important things I've changed, time away, which I've only got that one time set in there, meetings with the supervisor, module I sat on, and obviously like reading, writing introductions, literature review, methods, first time doing any editing. That's about going back over with the writing, perspective, timelines. These were write-ups of my, or reading for my discussion and results, writing the results, writing the discussion, writing a conclusion, and then edits for the chapters, the bibliography and figures and images. I don't know, guys, but it's what I've done now, so... Right, so the hair is dry. See if I can... What do we think, guys? I don't know what it looks like from behind on an awkward angle. Thoughts? I like it now that it's dry and my fringe isn't flat. It's kind of shorter than I was expecting, but also thinner too, because literally how short are these shortest layers? They were at my chin, double the length when I went in. And I love this blonde bit. It looks so good. I'm back from my parents, so back in York, and the first thing I want to show you right now, because I've had enough of talking about fucking university work right now, is the shoes I bought. Because when I bought them, my mum and dad and brother and Jack were all like, oh my god, Michaela's buying shoes, what the hell? Because if you know me, I always need to buy some new shoes because my Converse always falling apart. And I kind of decided I was just going to buy some £10 ones from Primark because the quality of them are not £80 anymore, and I'm really fed up with repurchasing expensive shoes for them to fall to pieces. However, I saw these in Puma at the York outlet and I was like, why are they kind of swag though? Like, I'm a bit apprehensive. I don't really totally understand or know what I'm going to wear them with, but I'm really excited to have some fun shoes to wear out, so let me show you them. So here they are from Puma. Crazy choice. I don't know guys. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hello, trainers. And can you see that? Furry texture. Obviously they're very flat. Like, you can feel the ground in these, and that's unusual for me because I only ever buy platform shoes. However, they're brown and the leopard print. Also, do they not just go so well with my hair? Low key. So I'm really excited, and they look really good with my black jeans, and I feel like I could wear basically any top with them if it's like black, brown, cream, white even, maybe even green. I just feel like it would add a bit of pop of fun to some outfits. I haven't totally thought about it. They're called ortho-lights, so I don't know if the fact that they're so flat but really flexible is supposed to be like really good for your feet. I don't know, but I'm really happy with them, and they were £35. So these are the new shoes, ladies and gentlemen. Check them out. I'm really excited and I cannot wait to find a reason to wear them, to be honest. Listen, they're furry. So yeah. That's the shoe. I'm really excited about them. Anyway, I'm gonna put my stuff away now from coming back home. Probably put my PJs on, wash my face, have a cup of tea, and then probably go to bed soon because it's 8 o'clock and I got work tomorrow. But just needed to show you those. Right, happy Wednesday, everybody. I've obviously been to work all day and I'm currently editing my introduction. I'm probably going to do some edits on my lit review before I hand this in because, again, I'm being cheeky and have it in by Wednesday to mean I can send it like midnight tonight, potentially. Maybe even early hours of Thursday morning. But there was a section of it that Jack was like really not happy with where he'd said, you know, you're being really waffly, a bit contradictory, not really sure what your point is. Like, I know it because we spoke about it, but having read it, I don't think it's very clear. And that was my like explaining the what do you even call it, like relevance of my research, like why it's important. And so I've rewritten it. He says, wow, that's like 50 times better, hand that in. So I'm going to read it to you as well. I'm not going to read you the old one though because that was really bad. Okay. Regardless of developments in prehistoric studies, scientific method, technological innovation, social change, or new evidence, Neanderthals remain inferior to modern humans in certain aspects of life. It could be argued that this is because many of the original ideas about Neanderthals became ingrained in their story and have become part of our foundational understanding. It's not necessarily true that archaeologists today subscribe to these original ideas, especially ones based in colonial, Western, or theological ideology. However, as their influence became embedded in the earliest interpretations, they have become unconscious and internalized in later research. This means that although the problematic nature of these ideas are easily recognised and criticised when discussing the initial work in Neanderthal studies, because of how overt scholars were with their opinions and how different they are to socially accepted ideas today, they become harder to recognise in modern research, where they become unquestioned and a subtle feature of accepted interpretation. In other words, the presentation of original biases have become less obvious as they have ingrained themselves in the basic ideas of what it meant to be Neanderthal, occasionally losing their connection to their problematic nature and instead becoming part of the standard story of Neanderthal life. The internalised and unconscious nature of these biases manifests in archaeology today as a persistence in Neanderthal cognitive inferiority, although where these impacts their capacities have changed over time. For example, they're no longer brutish and idiotic, but it remains debated if they can function in a complex society or produce creative artefacts. These biases also present in how heavily debated evidence of Neanderthal creative culture remains, despite similar methods of analysis and similar artefacts being used to prove the earliest evidence of modern human creative culture. To understand how these biases present, the extent to which they're still motivated by the original problematic influences, and how we can begin to prevent troublesome interpretations of Neanderthals in the present day, we must practice self-criticism and reflection. By doing so, it should be possible to reach more nuanced and objective interpretations of Neanderthal evidence, likely increasing our knowledge and acceptance of complexity in the Paleolithic. It should be recognised that criticism of modern research can be more difficult than criticism of older works. Recognising that what you've been taught to believe is problematic can be hard, as one may find it difficult to separate criticism from constructive feedback, making it tough to approach this topic from a neutral perspective. However, with our active reflection and aiming to always improve, Neanderthal research will stagnate and the value of future research may be compromised. It's essential that in a discipline with relatively slow progress, with increasingly less regular new evidence, we revisit the oldest and most recent research and look for ways to improve. I think that's so much better, and it actually makes sense, and it sounds professional. Anyway, that's all on that. I think I'm going to leave the introduction now and go and have a look at what easy things I can fix about my lit review. Yay! I'm on page 5 of 24 of my edits, currently on the lit review, but Jack has just made us some chicken burritos because he said I looked really tired. And that made me think of the meme of the robot that's like scooping the oil and the comments like, it's so tired. Because that's exactly how I feel right now, actually. But I'm very excited. He marinated the chicken, he made refried beans, rice, cheese, guacamole, a bit of sour cream. Bro loves me. And that's awesome. I'm going to get back to editing in a second. I just want to have a complaint. I've been on Instagram and I saw this video of an archaeologist, this woman. She's got like 2 masters in like, I think scientific archaeology, like bioart, and also like human origins and stuff. So sick, awesome. And she'd made a video about, there's this museum called the Bones Museum in America. I'm not exactly sure and much detail about it because I don't know everything. But she made the video about how it's not actually a museum. The guy who owns it like buys human remains and sells them using that on the basis of like they can't be repatriated because, you know, stuff about you can't do DNA evidence and things like that. And it's like the woman was basically going, well, you can actually, it's a lousy excuse to be selling human remains in this day and age, which is generally very frowned upon, like extremely frowned upon. Human remains have to be dealt with in the same way we would deal with a current death. Like that's what I learned in my osteoarchaeology module, so I was like, wow. And I commented on it saying, wow, this is like really shocked me, like I'm appalled. Like from the few videos I'd seen, I'd assumed, you know, based on the name of it too, it was an actual museum. And then a bunch of people replying to my comments being like, oh, what did the skeleton, like the spine wall, not give it away and all this stuff. And I was like, hold on, maybe seen potentially two videos from this account ever where it's usually this woman and I've seen her like talking about like the pathologies of some of the bones. And like I remember seeing one with like a spinal fusion. Oh, my laptop's gonna die. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Because when I'd seen that, I was doing osteoarchaeology. And I didn't think much of it. Like, what was it? Probably a minute-long video, and I've scrolled past it. And I've maybe seen something else from them occasionally ever. So obviously I didn't know much about them. And I'm like, can we stop pretending that everybody should know everything all of the time about everything? Like, if you spend 1 minute with a content creator of whatever kind, how you don't know everything they've ever done wrong and all of that stuff. And like I'm saying, wow, that's really bad. I don't like that. That's bad, you know. And people are having a go at me, being like, "Didn't you know? Well, you should have known." Fuck off. How about that? Do you know what I mean? Stop being such know-it-alls online. It pisses me off. You don't know everything, and you can't be mad at people who don't also know the same information as you. Because we don't spend the same amount of time or engage with the same content, alright? Like, I would be shocked if, I mean, considering the fact that they're still an organisation and they still make videos with limited backlash, I'm assuming, because otherwise how do they have such a platform and, you know, function in the business of human remains selling in the 21st century? Clearly, not very many people know the problems with it, because otherwise it wouldn't still exist. It would be illegal. It would be stopped. At least the content side of it would be. I'm like, for God's sake, man, just shut up. Actually, just shut up. And that's all. I'm going to go back to editing now. Happy Thursday, everybody. I haven't got any updates regarding uni work because I haven't done any today. However, I have got updates on the fact that I've got the day off of work to be able to do the open day, so that's awesome. I also, last night, obviously, at like 20 past midnight, handed in all of my stuff for the TAP meeting. No one's replied to the email with the links and everything yet, so I've still got this like nagging feeling in the back of my head that I've like somehow forgot something or given them the wrong documents. I don't know, but it's done with now, so there's that. And instead today I've napped and laid around. I watched some Creepcast, currently listening to Creepcast but paused it to do this. And I also painted my nails. Insert picture here. I decided to do like a little tortoiseshell moment. I know I'm still not really allowed nails for work, to be honest, but I'm just kind of fed up of having boring nails, and my mum's bought me a like electric file. And I was like, I gotta give it a go. And then I'd filed all of it off in half the time it would take me to do it by hand, by the way. So that was a success. And I was like, well, now I've got to paint them. And I thought, I don't know if I've got the skills to do stars. I haven't done that in a while, like 2 months now. So I was like, oh, let me do something simple. And then I saw the tortoiseshell nails on my like Pinterest board. And I was like, I wonder how hard that is to do. So I watched a couple of tutorials and I was like, actually, that's dead easy. And the fact that there's like no neatness to it, like it's just supposed to look natural. I'd had a blooming gel because I bought it when I was in Amsterdam and I've not used it yet. So I was like, let's give it a go. And I think they turned out so beautiful. I literally cannot stop looking at my nails. I'm like so impressed with myself right now. So maybe this will end up being my holiday nails. I'll probably have to redo it by then because that's still like 2 weeks away, and then I'm on holiday for nearly 2 weeks, so the grow out will be crazy. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know, they might be fine, but I love them. I cannot stop looking at them. Look how cool they are, even from here. I mean, you can't really see it because the camera quality and the lighting and everything, but they just look so cool and swag. And that's my dinner, so I'm gonna grab that. Hey everybody, happy Friday. Today is going to be kind of fun. We're going to the like wildlife park thing in Askham with Jack's mum. Never even knew that was a thing. I literally just thought they had a college. And then this evening we're going to a barbecue with some friends. So that should be really exciting. I've re-scrunched all my hair. Nirvana t-shirt on, black jeans. Feeling quite swagalicious right now. Yeah, should be a good day. Obviously, no university work. Ooh.
He's pulling on the tail. That's so funny.
We're back now from our little trip to the wildlife and conservation park. First of all, it was awesome. It was really cool. I had a great time, and I took some fun pictures on my like digital camera, so I'm gonna try change them onto my phone, and then maybe I'll include some because some of the animals were really cool. We're supposed to be going to the barbecue. However, I don't feel like going out, to be honest. I'm so tired, and I'm in my head I'm just like, I'm gonna have to get up at 7 for work tomorrow, and the people at the barbecue are going to be the exact same people we're going out with tomorrow night, and I'm just like, you know what guys, love you, but we'll see you tomorrow. So yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna go wash my face, take my makeup off. Yikes. My hair does look quite fun and good today though, so that's a shame, but I'm sure it'll look cool tomorrow as well. I think I'm just gonna lay down, to be honest guys. I didn't sleep very well, and I didn't have enough sleep as usual, so that's going to be the plan for the rest of the afternoon. We did also go out to like the pub and have some pub dinner, and I had like a blue cheeseburger, which was really tasty. The chips were incredible, delish. But yeah, that's all from me today probably. I'm so tired. Pub ready. No shoes. Right guys, I'm walking home. I've had a little bit of a cry because I just realised like the few people I'm out with tonight are like graduating in a month and they're gonna leave, and like the whole of undergrad I was like, oh, it doesn't matter because most people are staying on and doing a master's integrated or you know whatever, and I've been like whatever. So when I graduated I was like, well, they're all turning up and I'll see them next year, and now I'm like, they're all actually leaving. So I'm walking home right now and I'm feeling a little bit sad, a little bit melancholic, one might say. But I just want to say, like, for any of them watching this, I love you all, like, literally so much. Me, when I'm like crying in drawing board, like, I don't want to count how many times I've cried in drawing board this year because it's been like way too many times. But yeah, what the hell? Why is people leaving York? Everybody should stay in York forever. That's how it should work. But I'm walking home right now, and I should go to bed because I'm flipping tired. It's literally like 2:30 in the morning. King's Manor. I'm literally never going to turn up there again, and it's going to be the archaeology department. Like, what is even going on? Like, everything's changing, everything's crazy. But I'm on my way home. So I also took some really fun pictures
on my little digital camera tonight, so I'm excited to look at those tomorrow. We'll see if any of them are any good, but yeah, literally, what the hell? Why are people leaving? Why is everything over? University's been 4 years now, and like, why is everybody leaving? We should be here forever. Everybody should stay in York forever. I don't like the fact that people are leaving. Stop. Do not move. Nobody leave.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm gonna finish the vlog here. I was horrendously hungover this morning, or well, literally all day, to be honest. I think I just haven't been eating enough this week in general. I just haven't had a massive appetite, to be honest. And somehow 5 pints last night killed me off. Like, I actually was like, yeah, I was having those I'm never gonna drink again thoughts, which doesn't happen that often to me anymore. Like, 5 pints, like 6 pints is usually where I would draw the line to, like, I'm drunk, I don't need to drink anymore, but I'll probably be fine tomorrow. So I don't know what was in those Stellas, guys, but the Stellas got me. And so I have done literally nothing all day. Like, I was horizontal until 6 p.m. because I genuinely was like, every time I moved, I felt like I was going to be sick, and I had a headache that was just, it was like a stiletto heel on my eyebrow, like it really hurt. And I couldn't take any ibuprofen for ages because I couldn't eat anything. And even the thought of drinking water and trying to swallow the tablet, because I'm notoriously not very good at taking tablets, I was like, nah, I'll be sick straight away, there's no point. So me and Len laid in bed all day. I had a no, not Chinese, what's it called? Indian for dinner. I ordered from our usual place, which I absolutely love. So I thought that'll make me feel better. Surely I was able to eat like maybe not even a third of it, and I was like, nah, I can't eat no more. Not because I like was gonna be sick about it, but like I'm just, yeah, no. But I felt better after I'd eaten, so that was good. And now it's like 11 o'clock, and Jack's like, I'm going to bed, and I'm like, I've been asleep all day. So I'm quite awake right now, but I'm probably going to go to bed soon because next week, busy week. We got to get this presentation sorted for my TAP meeting. I've got now on the Saturday, I'm going to be doing the open day at uni, which I'm really excited for. And I need to start thinking about getting stuff I need for holiday, because we go on holiday in like 2 weeks, 2 weeks from now we're going on holiday. And I just feel like there's some bits I need to do, so I'm probably gonna have to go into town tomorrow. I also need to buy things for Jack's birthday, because his birthday is when we're on holiday, and it's come around so quickly. And honestly, I feel bad to say it, but like the thought of getting him presents has kind of slipped my mind, because there's been some big important stuff going on at the moment. So I also want to go see if I can buy him anything as a birthday present. So far I've got him some shorts. Like the Urban Outfitters corduroy ones. I think I showed them last week when I bought them. I've ordered him 3 new t-shirts off of Vinted, so new. But they're like the Urban Outfitters style ones with the fun prints on them, because he really likes them. But when I've been in the shop in the last couple of weeks, like to see if they've got any that I thought he would like, they were just rubbish. Like, he's not walking around wearing that. So I was like, last resort, let's look on Vinted, and I managed to find like 8 different ones I thought I would like. I sent him screenshots of all of them, and I was like, rate them. So I bought him his 3 most highly rated ones, which were really good, because I think 2 of them were £5 and 1 of them was £7, which compared to in the shop they're like £35 each. I was like, who cares if they've been worn a couple times before? As long as they don't come and look rubbish, like really worn and bobbly or something, I think that'll be fine. And even if they do for a £5, I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. He'd probably wear them to go to the gym and things anyway. Like, he doesn't have specific gym clothes t-shirts. He wears stuff if he's going to the gym or if he's just going to work or uni or anything. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. 3 new t-shirts, something to pick from. And to be fair, I did also like rank them when I was like going through. I selected good condition or new without tags. So hopefully everybody has listed them correctly, and we'll see. But I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm also gonna tag in some pictures I took last night when we were out, because it was really fun. It's kind of sad as well though, because the people we went out with,
and most of them are graduating this year. And you know, like last year when we finished uni, well, I finished uni, I was like, I'm not that upset because basically everybody's staying on for a master's or have a 4 year long course or whatever. But no, like this time people are actually leaving. So I did have a little cry last night in the beer garden. But again, that was probably the 5 pints. I was just like, guys, I'm gonna miss you all so much. And yeah, so I had a little cry, but it was fine, really. We're gonna all be fine. It's not like we can't see each other still, you know. Just, you know, you're only gonna be like in a totally different country or the other side of the England, you know. But trains exist. Some of them can drive. It's not gonna be like we're never gonna see them again. It's just it's hard, isn't it? I think accepting the fact that everything's changing again. But I'm gonna try not to dwell on that because we know how that went for me last year around this time. And I've only just managed to get out of that brain pit that I had been in for a while, so we're not gonna dwell on it. But I had a great time and we took some really fun pictures, which I will cherish. So that was awesome. Yeah, I will talk to you tomorrow. Oh, next week, I guess, for you, but tomorrow for me. Bye.